Okay, so the problem statement about Netflix. Netflix has in the last 3 quarters has been dropping a bit. So we are here to see which movies or shows are doing good with our analysis, so that they gain back their market share. So the data set, we have got the data set from Kegel as guided by professor, and the data set has had initially 15 columns with all the descriptions about the movies and all. So we have eliminated few of them, taken 6 columns, and we have more than 5,800 rows in this data set. So now Jaya will take us through the visualization.
Hi all. So here we are, as my colleague told, so IMDb, Internet Movie Database. So we are going to predict the analysis of Netflix via IMDb. This is because in the last quarter of 2021, we see the Netflix share market has dropped by around 30%, especially in the US market region. So now we are here to predict an analysis on Netflix movies and shows, so that we are going to give some recommendations on what they have to focus mainly to target their share market. So here is what we have taken, the 4 predictions. That is, we have taken the runtime of the movies or shows with their unmatched with IMDb scores, and movie runtime versus their IMDb odds, show runtime versus their IMDb odds, and film genre versus their IMDb odds. So next slide. So here is the runtime. So basically, if you play anything on the Netflix, be it movies or shows or anything, an advertisement or anything, so what is the percentage of people looking at it and how much time they are taking to review it? So it seems here that anything which is under 30 minutes, like around 30 minutes, so people are watching the most, be it anything. So this shows that the IMDb's highest score rate, which is around 725.4. So be it anything, any normal video which lasts around less than 30 minutes is going to give us this IMDb score. And the next one, so particularly talking about movies or shows. So first comparison is with the movie. So if you take movies, and what is the highest IMDb scores Netflix is getting is, so a movie which is lasting at around 165 minutes, that is 1.5 an hour or more. So they are getting the more highest IMDb votes. So any movies which last around this time is going to give the Netflix the highest IMDb score. So finally comparing this with the shows, like any series or any shows apart from movies. So if you see the show runtime, it is going to be accurately or approximately 40 minutes. So it seems the 40-minute shows or series is going to give the Netflix the highest IMDb votes. I'm sorry. And next, yeah, so depending on the genre, so this is very important. So be it any movies, be it any shows, the genre is very important. So we have classified many genres here: thriller, comedy, sports, science fiction or horror and drama, be it anything. So the highest IMDb odds was gained for the genre comedy. So be it anything, the comedy genre is going to get the highest IMDb score for the Netflix. So these are the 4 things which we have predicted via Tableau visualizations. So this we will see for the accuracy with all other models like the classification and clustering. So at last we are going to give the recommendations based on the Tableau and also the accuracy rate which we have predicted via the model analysis. So now I will call upon Malika, ask her to present the, Danny and Salim to present the data clustering.
As we know, the Netflix is a streamer, and as being a streamer, like it wants a data to analyze the movies, like which one is going to be more viewed or scored. So based on that, the data what we got it from the IMDb and the TMDB. IMDb is the Internet Movie Database, and TMDB is the movie database. IMDb is owned by the Amazon, and TMDB is the open source, and these streamers take the data populated on their website and to analyze what movies, shows and TV serials and the other shows can be shown on their platforms, and what is the higher rating, like whatever we views the shows, the movies, that we give ratings and score to any particular shows. So that will be recorded by the IMDb and TMDB. So these are the things, parameters we have considered: the release year, the runtime, IMDb score, IMDb votes, So we have taken the observation days and the minimum and maximum release year. We have considered like 1945 to 2000. This is a very vast data we have considered, and the runtime is the movie or the show. It's a play time. So the score is taken from the 1 to 10, and we have made 3 clusters based on the segmentation like age, runtime, and the other factors like votes and scores. Next slide, please. Yes. So as you can see, these are our analysis that scores and votes with respect to the clusters and the centroids, the analyze details what we got. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next. This is the algo technique we got. Next slide. Yeah. So basically, the cluster, these 3 clusters we got it like cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, and with respect to the runtime and the release year, we got this cluster data that. As you know, the Netflix, we have considered different parameters like runtime with respect to the release year. With respect to release year and runtime, we got that over 0 runtime to the 60 minutes. We got this much of viewers, and with respect to the runtime and IMDb score, we got this scores like. Can you go next?
So which tool do you generate this graph?
Sorry?
Which software?
It's
Excel stats?
Tableau and Excel.
Is this Tableau? Is Tableau?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why Tableau can do K-mean, yeah?
Yeah.
K-mean, it's good.
Yeah. So with respect to other IMDb votes, like as I told you that the Netflix, we have taken the multiple factors. So based on that, each factors, and we have tabulated. So this graph will help the streamer to know which, like with respect to the release time and the age segment and what type of the movie it is, whether it is a comedy, is it a any other factor that they can analyze which region like that. So these graphs will help them analyze that. Yeah. So these are the graphs. So it will be helpful to analyze to see the viewers and popularity. Yeah. So basically, with respect to all the parameters that we have, then the K-mean clustering. This is a summary that we have got all the graphs. So it is on the consolidated graphs that we can see, and we can a streamer can decide which movie and which category of serials or show can be streamed, and what are the major categories that are viewed in particular region, particular age group, and segmentation. Thank you.
Okay. So move to classification. Yeah.
Okay. Based on this chart, and as you see, we concentrate in those correlations that are indicated, the mass concentration of the data. If you see here, we have all the variables and all the combinations of them. For example, here you can see so a weak correlation, hard correlation. So we work on those that are the most concentrated, and at the end we will confirm this model with the model evaluation. I will talk about this part at the end.
I'm going to be talking about the logistic regression. Logistic regression is a model based on which is started by variable is binary. Since the purpose of this regression analysis was to see if the TVs or the movie shows of Netflix were a hit or a flop, we have taken 1 as an indication that the movies and the TV shows were a hit, and 0 shows that the movies or the TV shows were a flop. Based on the IMDb voting, we have taken the score below 5.5 as a flop and the score above the 5.5 as a hit indication for the movies and the TV shows. In total, we have taken 5,850 data set by using the Excel stat. Now, Oscar will be discussing about the analysis and the result we have got from the logistic regression.
Hi, good morning. The real score for the hit and flop is for the hit if the total sales is 3 times higher than the budget, that is considered as a hit. But if the sales or the gross sales of the movie is less than 3 times percent of the budget, it's considered as a flop. But for the sake of the presentation, we change it into number of votes. So as Malika mentioned, so 5.5 below score is considered as flop, while 5.5 up or 5.6 up is considered as hit. So this is for the logistic regression. So we use binary. So we try to change the false into 0 and the flop into 1. So based on the data that we collect through the qualitative data, based on the rating, the flop is 1,119, so it's 17.49%. 17.490% based on the 5,850 data. And while for the hit, it's 4,830, or it has
So what's the
percentage of 82.58%.
That's high.
Yes. So just for the sake of the presentation, so we changed it. So the real score for the flip and flop is for the hit it should be 3 times, or the gross sales is 3 times more than the budget. But for the sake of the presentation, so we make it as a twist. So 5.5 below is considered as flop based on the votes. Okay, so this is the confusion plot. So back to the confusion. Okay, so for the confusion plot, because there are some data that we get in the Kaggle that has blank. So the good thing for the Excel stat is there's an option that we can put some data, or we can provide data based on the mean, or it's either based on the mean or based on the nearest data. But we try to choose on the based on the mean or the middle data.
Go to SVM. Okay, you only 1 minute left.
Conclusion.
Yeah. I'll give you a little bit more time.
Then for the support vector machine, just go on the next. Okay, so this is the result for the support vector machine. So this is the performance matrix. So it's for the hit and the flop, and this is the estimation summary. So positive class and at the same time for the flop. So this is for the 5,150 data. There's a bias of -1, and there's number of support vectors 2 because there's only hit and flop.
Okay, as I mentioned before, this is a model evaluation. We work on this part based on the average of every variable. And you know, at the beginning, we had the basic statistic with the mean and with the maximum and minimum. Using the maximum, so we can predict the tier, the predicted values, and the actual based on the average of the data. So we have, for example, accuracy 80 and 20 point here in this variable. The next variable, for example, is a 86 and precision of 92% more or less. Next one. Okay, this is the last 3 variables. As you see here, the accuracy is more or less, the average is 86 with imprecision 19.4. Here 86, 88. You know, so in conclusion, we have some we confirm the model with these results. We can work with the confidence that we will have strong results, and we can work with this data.
So what's your decision? Which model is the best? Which model are you going to put deployment?
The model, the best?
Yeah.
In this case, we discovered that generally for all the work, we have the accuracy of 86%.
That's high.
That is high. It is acceptable, you know. And the precision here, for example, in general, is over.
Okay, I have to stop you because we're running out of time. Okay, so
the model is good.
Just 1 more minute to give the recommendations.
Oh, you know what?
Just 1 more minute.
Yeah, okay, good.
So these are the recommendations we would like to give for to target the highest audience. So like we are going to classify via shows and movies which has around 40 minutes and movies via 162 to 168 minutes. So if Netflix is going to concentrate on these minutes, it is going to get on the higher number of audience, and the genre would be comedy as we have shown via the visualization. So based on the graphs which we have done from K-means clustering and logistic regression, so we see there is a number of larger number of hit rates. So now Netflix is going to concentrate more onto the new releases part. So if they are going to concentrate anything towards a release part, be it movies or shows, it is going to get them the higher audience. So also we have the accuracy of model evaluation. So as told by Danny, so these are the model evaluations we have done, and we have gained the accuracy rates via all the regression types and classification types which we have got.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is very crisp, yeah? Every step. Well done, well done. Good. Netflix is a very interesting problem to solve. Yeah, you ever watch Netflix? Yeah, they have $1 million prize. Last many times. If you have good solution, they give you team $1 million. So I don't know whether you qualify or not. Yeah. Okay. Thank you again. Give team 3 evaluation, and team 4 should be ready.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Good work. Good work. Team 4. Great. Your show time. Yeah, you have to do your good work. Hopefully, yeah. Do your best. So who is team 5? This is team 3. Sorry, team 3. Yeah.
Team 4.
This is team 4. You give evaluation team 3. Yeah. No evaluation, you will lose the participation grade.
No.
Because I log in your result.
We don't get those posts to ourselves.
No, of course not. So team 5. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Well. Last is best. Okay, you may start right now. Team 4. Okay, guys, pay attention, yeah? Please.
Good morning, guys. I am Sandeep, and this is my beautiful team who stand here. And we are going to enjoy the ride of data. That's what we learned all the 3 months. So the first thing, what we are going to present is the impact of COVID on our businesses. See, we are studying businesses, and we had the opportunity to see the COVID, and we had the impacts as well. Next slide. This is the objective. COVID-19 had huge impact on each and every one life. Not only on the personal front, professional front as well. We had to work from homes, and many businesses got closed during the COVID, 2-3 years. It took a lot of strain on the industry part. So this is my team. Next, please. So these are the methods and techniques we use. Tools, Tableau, Excel, and Excel Stat. We took a lot of help from Excel Stat as well. The techniques, regressions, and means, the confusion matrix. These are the 3 things we have used. And the most important thing, you should not be too much worried about this data if we understand the techniques in the right way. So I will be handing over to my team members for the next part.
Hi everyone, I'm going to explain the effect of the COVID-19 on the GDP of the various countries. In the first image, you can notice the GDP of various countries in year 2020 and 2021, and you can see the GDP was around 50k in year 2020, and it was literally downfall to the 20k, which is like less than the half of the GDP. And except the Europe, which is the orange color, all we can see a downfall in the GDP of each and every region. Then we have the effect of GDP according to the waves of the COVID. We had like 3 major waves of the COVID in year 2020 and 2021. So we can see in every wave our GDP is decreasing day by day, like year by year, and only except the Latin America and Caribbean, the GDP was increasing. Rest all the countries we can see a downfall in the GDP of the country. So in this, I have created this dashboard with the indicators and the value according to the waves, which shows us the impact on the sales of the COVID. We can see the change in sales and the drop sales. In the first wave, the yellow graph is showing the drop sales. So it has been increasing, and in wave 2 and wave 3, it decreased to 20k around, and it was like 30k in the first wave. And then we can say online sales has been decreasing in the first wave. They have like only till 5k, and the situation got better with the waves. In wave 2, the sales were increasing, but we couldn't see a significant change in the sales. Next we'll explain about it.
Hi everyone. This geographical map represents the Google mobility in various regions. As we can see, there are 3 colors, that is orange and the light orange and the blue. The dark orange shows the least mobility in the regions, and the light orange shows there is some increase in the mobility, and the blue color shows that there is a sharp increase in the mobility. As we can see, during the wave 1, there was only increase in the mobility in the Afghanistan, and during the third wave, we can show that on the map there is a blue color. So it shows that during the third wave, there is a sharp increase in the Google mobility because the governments in all the countries has relaxed restrictions on the movement of the people. So this map shows the stringency during the pandemic, during all the 3 waves. There are 3 colors on the slides, and the blue color shows the wave 1, and the orange color shows the wave 2, and the red color shows the wave 3. As we can see, only in Afghanistan. Wait a minute. So, as we can see, there is more stringency during as the number of the parts of the blue color is higher. So we can see that the stringency is high during the wave 1, and there is a orange color which shows the stringency is least during the third wave. Yeah.
The regression part will be explained. So I am here to explain the linear regression. Linear regression refers to the classification of data that enables us to analyze the data on the behalf of dependent and independent variables. Yeah. So here we took many work sectors like manufacturing, retail, and other sectors. So on the basis of that, we classified the data, and here is the result. So we found that accuracy is around 90.7%. So it reflects that 90.7% of the data is correct, and the dependent variable can be seen as the GDP growth. Dependent variable is located on the x-axis, and GDP growth in percentage is reflected on the y-axis.
So we had the opportunity to calculate the linear regression part, and we got the accuracy the best in terms of the COVID business impacts.
The following graph displays the standardized residuals. This means that this graph shows the scattered points that predicts the trueness of the data. This shows that the data is close to true.
Hi everyone, now I'm going to explain the logistic regression. So we use logistic regression for the future probability in the form of binary 0 to 1, and we uses the sigmoid function, that is 1 upon 1 plus x minus e, and we use the independent categorical function, and we plotted the graph. In this we can see that 1 denotes the highest future probability and 0 denotes the lesser. And in the next slide we came to the conclusion that after by using Excel stat, in the future the probability will be high in terms of GDP. So the GDP will be higher.
The GDP will be higher in terms of getting the ease of the COVID restrictions all over the world. Yeah, this is the K-means clustering. So if anyone outside of this class doesn't know what K-means clustering is, it's just like we can give a show of elbow on how the impact exactly eases down. This is the main point. We have the two clusters here. Within the cluster and outside the cluster we had 56%, because all over the world the data varies too much in terms of the sales drop and the sales increase. And see, if you see this colorful graph, it explains most of the companies had operations which took a huge hit in terms of their revenues and other stuff. They have had huge layoffs as well for the past couple of years. So this takes us, if you see everything, the operations. If you see, most of the things are operations point of view, because operations takes place when on the field, not in the offices. So that's the main reason why it took a lot of hit. And then the trend line will be explained by Jitin.
Good morning also. This is just a trend line with the time. What was the impact of COVID on the sales? Like how much the sales decreased during the COVID, and with time what was the changes in the sales percentage? So we see when the first wave hit with the introduction of COVID, there was a reduction of sales. Also some had almost reduced, some sales were reduced by almost 80%, but for first wave the reduction was much higher, and moving on with time, with the trend line, the reduction in sales were decreasing by time. And and with the trend line, we can see that the forecast helps. The trend line helps to forecast that the changing in sales will be reduced by time, and in the future there would be no impact of COVID on the sales. This is to help you with the visualization of the decision tree for the change in sales. Like from a given point in a timeline, change in sale can be like an increase in sale, decrease in sale, or also it could remain constant at a point of time. This is a moving average we have used in the change in sales to better forecast the trend line, because moving average helps to smoothen the curve and it helps to better forecast with low errors. So this is just a normal line graph with no moving average, where we can see the data is much rockier than the moving average data, which smoothens the curve of the data, and it's like a smooth mountain, but this is like a rocky mountain, so it's much difficult to predict the series when it's a rocky mountain, but it's easier to predict the future movements of a curve if it's a smooth mountain.
So, coming to the conclusion part, if you see the COVID-19 impacted many businesses who doesn't have the online presence. That's one of the most important factor. If one company doesn't have the online presence or